Hi, I'm Tim Hunter, and this is Trailers from Hell, and the film in question is Bud Boetticher's Western 7 Men from Now. It was the first of a cycle of very excellent and influential westerns that the director did with the actor Randolph Scott. It was the only one produced at Warner Brothers. The rest of them were shot at Columbia, and it benefited from some better production values, was produced by John Wayne, and was shot by the cameraman William Clothier, who shot a lot of the later films of Howard Hawks and John Ford. Let's look at the trailer. Writer-turned-director Burt Kennedy wrote the original screenplay and sold it to John Wayne, who hired Boetticher to direct it. Wayne had already produced Boetticher's independent film The Bullfighter and the Lady, about his efforts to become a matador in Mexico. It was written for Wayne to star in, but Wayne had other commitments, and so they cast Randolph Scott, a Western star who was mostly doing B pictures, and continued doing B pictures, although this film really revitalized his career. The film was a big hit, and critics and discerning audiences saw a low-budget, rigorous formalism in Boetticher's style, and Randolph Scott, who was the perfect person to cast in this part, as a kind of paradigm of decency and suffering and Zen-like vast inner knowledge. This film and the others in the Boetticher-Randolph Scott cycle set a template for many more modern westerns, and were seen, especially by French critics, as an expression and an existential debate about morality. So 7 Men from Now and the other films really bridge the gap between the more traditional westerns of the 30s and 40s and the revisionist westerns of the 60s and 70s that followed. Paul Schrader was a big fan of this film, writing about it at the same time that he was writing about Dreyer, Ozu, and Bresson, and you can see why in the rigor of Boetticher's style. 7 Men from Now had a simple revenge story, but the beauty of the film really lies in the characterization, especially of the bad guys. Lee Marvin really stole the show, and this was true of the other films in the cycle, where such actors as Richard Boone, James Coburn, and Henry Silva charmed their way through complex bad guy parts, playing against the stolid, virtuous Randolph Scott. Stylish in their spareness, modern in the telling of these stories of elemental conflicts taking place in barren landscapes, the Boetticher films have carved out their own niche in the Western genre,